Hello again, everybody. We're here on the basketball courts once again with my trusty sidekick, Damien. And
Hi.
say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, there he is. We're going to talk a little bit about basic positioning, how we teach it at a very the very basic level. We run a 2-3, typically speaking, on our Special Olympics program. 3-on-3, they basically have to run either for lack of a better term, a triangle zone or a man-to-man. I guess you have to say person-to-person these days. But it all gets down to how you get after it. One of the things I talk about is what the most important part of the body is for a basketball player, as far as being able to guard or not be guarded. If you're on offense, you don't want to be guarded well, and if you're on defense, you certainly want to guard. So, Damien, could you tell us what the most important part of the body is for that?
Hips.
Right. Right. It's the hips. So we do a lot to make them limber, and we do a lot to make sure that people can, don't injure themselves when they're making rapid movements. But they need to basically be able to go 360 degrees pivot-wise to the best of their ability. So while it still does, start with the stance, the vision and everything is that you check out the torso of the person that is in front of you, and they learn very quickly. You don't let somebody past you, but you more or less check out, and we teach them with drills how to make sure that if they see the hips turn a certain way, that's where they're going. And we teach them very, in a very, at that level, there's not a lot of guys that have the handles that can manipulate that, and say, okay, I'm gonna fake one way, go another. They just don't have the quickness. So at this level, it works. So that's why we teach it this way. So we do talk about keeping the hips, staying square to the other person's hips if you're on defense. So, and then we demonstrate that. We use a hand-over-hand technique, meaning, we have our hands on their shoulders. We're teaching them where to go so they can win the battle of getting to the spot first, which is what all basketball really is all about. I mean, aside of putting it in the basket. Can I get an uh-huh?
Yeah.
Can I get an uh-huh?
Mm-hmm.
Say uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, that's what it's all about. So where it starts right now, and Damien's going to show us here, is the stance. Show me a stance. Okay, knees bent, arms out, right? Your arms are out a little bit, right? And you're kind of sitting down a little bit. See that? You show me? That's a nice stance. That's the stance where we want to get in, and we want to keep our hands out in front of us, palms down. And that's really what you want to look at. Second thing we teach them, and we don't teach them all in one setting for sure, is going to be that they need to be up on their toes. So when we mean up on their toes, we mean bending the knees and leaning forward slightly. Not to actually get up on your toes, tippy toes, but to be on the front half of the foot. So when Damien shows us this, he's going to show that he bends a little bit forward, he's on the front half. And that was well done. So when they do that, they're able to strike more like a cobra. They've got coiled energy ready to go. And now we're going to show how you got to use that energy. And that is that when you need to go side to side, get in the stance, Damien. Get in the stance. Down. And you're going to go this way. Go. Yeah. Now you see what he did is not to cross over foot over foot. He did a very good job. Nice job, buddy. You don't go foot over foot, you go foot to foot. And you never cross over. And you keep the vision of the person in front of you. You don't buy the eyes, you don't buy the pump fakes. You get the hands up, right in the middle, and you make sure that they don't get past you. They go to pass, do the best you can, but you keep that person in front of you. And that's really what it's all about. The other thing we will talk about is, and a lot of these guys, they want to, and the ladies, young ladies as well, is they want to be able to steal the ball. So what I'll show you now What I'll show you now is I'm going to dribble the ball. What we want to do, and Damien's going to demonstrate this. Some people, when they go to steal the ball, what they'll do is they'll jab their hands. Say, do a jab, do a jab. They'll just do that, right? That happens all the time. What we teach in our program is that you sweep through, and you go from the middle towards the outside. So if you're going to sweep with your right hand, you go in, through. You get down low, and you sweep at the ball. Now this prevents you from, nice job, buddy. That prevents you from actually reaching in most of the time, especially at this level, because you're not poking at the ball. You're really sweeping at the ball. And if you're playing good team defense, you may create a turnover. You may not get it, but you may very well get one of your friends to get it. And the neat thing is, you go create it, you might get the ball back at the other end and get the payoff. You might get the layup, and you might be able to score. So you like to score, Damien?
Yeah. Good.
He likes to score a lot. We were shooting a little bit before we started, and he was on fire, 80-90%. And just this year alone, he's probably put an extra 5-6 feet on his range, which is pretty impressive at his stage of the game. So, these are the things I really wanted to get across today. Was the basic fundamentals. And when we're playing a 2-3, it's just basically you're just got 5 guys doing that same thing, and it's a no-fly zone. You can pack it down deep, make them shoot over it, or you can extend it. And especially if they don't have any long, tall dudes in the back, then you can really extend. You can even play some pressure. You can use some corner traps. You can do a lot of different things that will be able to up the tempo if you want it to. I'm a coach that likes to have some choices. So I like to teach that if we're in transition, if we see their backs, when we got the ball, we see their backs, run it down, run it at them. If they turn and guard like one of my teams would, slow it down. But when you got the numbers, you take it. You got their backs, take it. So I teach them these things at the 5-on-5 level, but on the 3-on-3 level, I really keep it to where we were tonight. And I pretty much took you from the beginning to the end of what I would teach at 3-on-3. And that probably would take about 2 months, maybe 3 months, almost an entire season to go from A to Z on that one, on what we did tonight. So it's a painstaking process. Damien's been through it a time or two, so he did a really nice job with that. But balance is key. Being forward is key. Being up on your toes, having that coiled energy, side-to-side movement, keeping an eye on that torso, and you win those battles. And we win each battle. We win the war. We win the war. We get the hardware. Simple as that. Hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And we don't do a lot of editing around here, so it might look a little rough, but it's kind of what we do around here. So like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends if you would, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for coming in again.